Good morning. This is Norma Cowie, and I'm streaming live on both my YouTube channel and my Norma Cowie Psychic Life Consultant page on Facebook. Today, I wanted to talk about on my Sunday Thought here about affirmations, mainly because I had seen, I guess, an ad on Facebook talking about 10 most important affirmations that had changed person's life. And I agree, it truly, truly helped me. And I even made a cassette tape back, and now I have a CD about it and actually send those out to a lot of my clients when they are needing help. But what is the true value of an affirmation? And that's what I began to discover when I, began to look into my own work and began to use affirmations that people gave me or I read or whatever. And one of the things as I began to write my book, Secrets for Living Happily, was I began to find that I did not feel happy. And I would say things like, I am happy. And I would have a voice that would come up and say, oh, no, you're not. Or I would say, I am worthy. And I would get a voice saying, you're not worthy. And I find that as I've read and listened to people who have talked about affirmation work, they don't seem to bring this point up. And I maybe not have heard everyone, and maybe there are many others that also discovered what I wanted to do. So I just have something here I want to put up. Hang on a minute. I had it here. Where is it gone? I lost it. That's what I'm trying to become more tech, and sometimes I'm less tech than I want to be because I made it. I did make a banner to put up that said, here we are. It says use banners, but that's not what I wanted to do. I had created one, which I will tell you about, and I'm wasting a lot of time here, and I appreciate for those of you that are being, how do I get rid of that one? Probably to just go somewhere else. There we go. Now, the key is this. We have a subconscious that has everything in there. And I find not many people talk about the subconscious too much anymore, or the collective conscious, which you often will hear me mention. But the subconscious houses all your thoughts, all your feelings, all your memories basically, which becomes really, really important. Now, so you do an affirmation, I am worthy. And inside you have a voice that says, no, you're not. So every time you go inside and you come close and you go, I am worthy, this little voice will pop up saying, no, you're not. The affirmation, this is according to me, the affirmation's job is to bring to your attention what does not agree with it. So you can take that thought and clear it from your collective, from your subconscious. So when you say I am worthy, you actually can feel being worthy. If you say I'm courageous, and the other part of you that wants to just shrink away and doesn't want to be courageous, no, I'm not courageous, I'm not really, or I don't want to do that, or whatever the thought is, it can be many different things. Those are the thoughts that you want to get. You want to find, you want to clear them. Now, I began first of all with something that I had learned called an energy release, of how to pull thoughts out and just basically release them up into the light or wherever you want to. I use often a container if I have many of them, because sometimes it's not just one. Sometimes we'll remove one on the top and there's a whole pot of other, almost like a conversation underneath of all the reasons why you're not worthy, or you're not brilliant, or you're not courageous, or you're not whatever it is that you want. Now, the key here is, today I teach this often, the simple, easy way. If you have a thought that you don't want, so you say, I am worthy, and the thought says, no, you're not, you freeze that in your mind. You freeze it in space and time, then you evaporate it. And then you release that evaporation. But remember, nature abhors a vacuum. So anything that you change, anything that you take out, you must replace with something. So you replace it with that thought, I am worthy. I am able to be and do this. I am able to be who I want to be. Whatever it is that you decide. And remember, you can change that. I did a lot of recorrecting things at first because I would have an affirmation and then I would find things that opposed it and I would transform them and clear them, or however you want to look at that. And then I would say the affirmation again. And guess what? There'd be another thought that would crop up. We need to clear that subconscious so that it is supporting you to be who you want to be, to go in the direction that you want to go in, to allow yourself to be all that you can be. You are you. And you don't need to do a whole lot. Sorry, I'm going to back up a minute here. You don't have to begin to do a whole lot of affirmations and feel that. And I often tell a little story, and I'll tell a quick one. I had a client many, many, many years ago who walked in. It was very dark. Energy was very dark. All the cards were very dark. And I said to her, I don't know what I said because I can't remember way back then. It's a very long time ago. And she looked at me and said, but I've done all this affirmation work. And it was at that moment I realized, no matter what I said, that this client was not going to hear me, was not going to hear what I had to say. And I never saw her again in my life because I'm sure she didn't want to come back and listen to me, who was sort of saying, hey, there's some things you got to clean up here. We need to go deeper. And the affirmation is your key. Because as you say your affirmation, it is the response that your system gives you that is the biggest, most important clue that there is. And that's what you need to clear if it is not 100% supportive. And usually if it's supportive, you don't hear anything because it's like, yeah, that's right. Or yeah, that works. So I want you to this week to think about, if you say an affirmation to yourself, what is your response inside? What's your thinking on that? What thought comes up? It'll come up really quick too, by the way, very quick. So just be aware of that and know that. I really want to thank you for listening, and I want to thank you for subscribing, liking, all those wonderful things that you do. I want to thank you for tuning in on the Wednesday talks too, and just know that you're important, and just know that you can go and have a great week. But remember, your thoughts are important. They set your vibrational rate. So do that, be that, and just love yourself. Thank you for watching. I'll be back on Wednesday and again next Sunday. Enjoy.